Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I wanted to do the 5 things I wish I knew before we got married. It would have made my life so much easier and I could have relaxed more. I'm really blessed that we had our wedding last year on September 27th, 2019. So I hope this is helpful, and let me know in the comments below if you've had your wedding and what would you suggest, and if you're going to have your wedding, if this is helpful. So the first thing I wish I knew for my wedding is I wish that I didn't underestimate the time it would take to get ready with my bridesmaids. So I allotted about 4 hours, but 4 hours was way too short to get our hair, makeup, have breakfast, and then rush to the venue. So we were in a hurry and we didn't get a chance to kind of just relax. We were actually really late. Our makeup artist was late. It was just a whole thing. So I would say if you can allot as much time as you can to get ready, it just leaves you time to have a drink, a mimosa, have something extra to eat because the day is so long, just to chit chat, laugh, and it could have relieved me of a lot of stress. I could have taken a lot more pictures that looked cute because our pictures were just kind of rushed, right? Our faces looked rushed. So if I could recommend, lots of time, lots of time to get ready. So number 2 is about the train on my dress. Basically, my dress had a huge train. After we did the ceremony, we went to Stanley Park in downtown Vancouver. We did pictures with our family and like just Lawrence and I, and it was muddy because it was fall, and my dress just was on the floor. It was attracting all the dirt and all the leaves, and my girls and my mom did a really good job of trying to lift the dress up so it doesn't touch the floor. But I do 100% recommend, if you want a dress with a huge train, maybe if you can get one of those, I think it was called like a button hook. So on the end of the train there's kind of like a button, and then on the back of your dress there's like a loop, so you just attach it, and then it kind of like lifts your dress from being on the floor. Or if you can get one of those removable dresses or trains, like a slim dress that just hugs to your body, and then you put the train on top and then you can just remove it when you want to. I almost bought a dress like that, but I really fell in love with my dress, so I don't regret it. But it's also a great option to get the removable train if you have a reception and ceremony and you want to take the dress off. It'll save you money instead of buying 2 dresses. But if you wanted to wear the full train and dress for the ceremony, and then for the reception you can take it off and it'll be a lot more comfortable as it's more body fitting, then I 100% suggest that. Number 3. So I had a 2-day wedding. It was super busy. The reason why I wanted it 2 days is because I wanted our wedding day on a specific day. Yes, because I'm extra. And second, it was Lawrence's birthday on the 28th, so I didn't want our wedding anniversary and his birthday at the same time. My ceremony only had, I guess like 20 people, and the reception had about maybe 140-ish people. I tried to plan everybody's meals, literally breakfast, lunch, and dinner for both days. I tried my best to feed everybody so nobody would get cranky and everybody would be in a good mood for pictures because it was a long day. So for the Friday, it was just friends and family. So for breakfast, my mother-in-law actually cooked breakfast for the girls because we were staying, all the girls were staying in my mother-in-law's house and all the boys were staying at the current place that Lawrence and I live in. For lunchtime, I actually ordered Japa Dog to get delivered to our ceremony for everybody to eat, so that was really good. It was just kind of a quick refill. After the pictures around 6 p.m. we actually did a Chinese restaurant, so we all went with my friends and family. So we all enjoyed there, kind of relaxed, had drinks, and then we had to go home because the next day was going to be even busier. So the next day I had most of my wedding party at my house, and then decided to go home. I cooked breakfast, I made coffee when I got up in the morning, and then for lunch I literally forgot about it and we didn't have anything to eat and we were so hungry. Half of my wedding party was at the hall preparing and they were picking up some stuff, and then we were here, and then I realized that nobody had anything to eat. They were ordering stuff from Tim Hortons and it was just going so fast, and I think this day I was way more nervous because then we had a lot of people compared to yesterday. It was just family. It was a lot more relaxed. We could take our time, do what we want, and it's easier to communicate with everybody, whereas we had to get the hall ready by 5 p.m. on the Saturday. So even though there was a lot for dinner on the reception, I had like a big buffet, I did feel really bad that I forgot about their lunches. So number 4, communication. So I think that although we were really close, I tried my very hardest to not be a bridezilla, which I think drove my bridesmaids crazy because I was just too relaxed when I should have communicated more. And I think that's one of the things about me. Like, I have a really creative mindset and all of these ideas are in my head, and I completely forgot that on the wedding day itself I wasn't able to decorate and execute my vision. I pretty much had to relax and hide from the guests and let everybody and the caterers do their thing. So there was just a lot of miscommunication and I feel bad for my bridesmaids. I'm so sorry. I love you guys so much. Thank you for dealing with everything you dealt with. But that's definitely like one of the things I should have communicated more, because I planned obviously everything. I planned the pickups, I dealt with the caterers and everything. My maid of honor was there for most of it, but I did deal with a majority of all the things. I created the decorations, I DIY'd a lot of stuff. My bridesmaids helped me DIY a lot of stuff, but they didn't know what was in my head and what I wanted. So I wish I just communicated that more. I wish I communicated to the guys more, to the groomsmen. I didn't think about them as much as I thought about the bridesmaids, obviously, because they were here every week prior to the wedding. So I wish I just thought about everything more. I communicated more. I told them what I wanted instead of them having to freak out and panic, because I was not panicked at all, and I'm usually just a chill person, so that's just how I am. But I saw that a lot of my wedding party had anxiety during the day of, so I hope it's not traumatic for you. I loved my wedding. I loved everything you guys did, and I'm so grateful. I know I've said this before, but I want to say it on camera because I love you guys. Thank you. Number 5, last but not least, I think this one's the most important, but I literally wish I could have told myself that there are so many things that are not in your control. So as I said earlier, I planned the wedding in 6 months, along with my family and my friends, my bridal party, the groomsmen party, and I know that everybody's traumatized, including me, and I just kind of laugh about it now, and I hope everybody else does too. But there were so many things that went wrong in our wedding. From everybody else's perspective, like the guests, it was fine. They all enjoyed it. It was a fun time. Everybody got drunk. The drinks were good. The music was okay, but you know, we made the best of it. It was fun to see a lot of friends and family because we're just so busy in life. So some people just got to reconnect, so it was great. But I can't even tell you how many things went wrong. So 1, I didn't have a wedding cake. I had a wooden stand, which I'll put a picture up here, that had cupcakes, and then at the top was supposed to be a wedding cake. But there was miscommunication on my cake. I actually got it from Cupcake because I love the red velvet cake there. And it was just going to be a plain white cake, and then we had like a topper, and that's it. I wasn't going to put any other decorations, and then along the layers there was going to be mini cupcakes. So one of Lawrence's best friends picked up the cupcakes and he asked like, oh, is this all right? So he picked up everything. They said yeah. And then we didn't realize until we were setting up the cake, which was a lot later, right before cocktail hour when guests were arriving, that there was no cake, so it was just cupcakes. So I had no cake to cut, unfortunately, but you know, nobody paid attention to that, so that was fine. No cake. What else went wrong? I had a playlist for the DJ and he didn't play any of our songs. So I didn't know our DJ. He was just recommended to me, and he was just kind of like a family friend. And I set up all these playlists of songs that we wanted to play, but he didn't play it all, so it was really, really weird. It was frustrating, but I can't complain. It's all done in the past, but our playlist didn't even get played, so that was a bummer because we really wanted to dance to a lot of our songs, and that's why we picked it. My bridesmaids and I spent a day picking all those songs. For my dessert stand, I actually bought a bunch of Subway cookies. I bought Tim Hortons donuts. I literally bought everything that was kind of like local to me, and then we just picked it up and put it on a dessert table because I wanted like not fancy desserts, but I wanted desserts that I loved as well. So I really loved, you know, Timmy's. I loved Subway cookies, and we brought the Timmy's over, but we forgot the Subway cookies. So there was literally like 200 cookies at Subway not picked up. They didn't call me or anybody, so we forgot about them. So I had to go through like this whole deal of getting a refund for literal 200 Subway cookies. So I wish. Oh, well, we didn't really know until the next day. I was looking for them the next day because it was so busy for me during that day. I had to say hi to the whole party and everything. So that's one thing that got messed up. When my sister-in-law and I, Nora, when we went to the venue for the first time early in the morning on Saturday, we realized that all the tables were wrong. So I was doing tables for... we were expecting round tables, but they were all rectangle tables. And I sent an email a week before with the table plan, but they weren't really doing anything about it, so that was really frustrating. The hall, they were a pain to deal with, to say the least. It was a cheap hall, so that's good. It was a community hall, but there were tons of questions that I asked throughout my wedding process and when I booked the venue that they addressed, but they didn't execute during the wedding. I had this vision of the whole hall having like string lights attached. I literally bought like probably almost 1,000 feet of lights to put in the inside, outside, on our head table, everywhere. I used it for our wedding shower and everything. And every time you connected the lights, the power would come off. So they didn't have enough outlets, or the power wasn't enough to hold all the string lights, so we didn't even have that. So we have to turf it, and that was literally like most of my decorations because I wanted it to be very simple. So that was out the door. The table names didn't work out. We were missing table number 9. It was hilarious. The lawn games I spent $300 on. I put on outside because we had like a really nice patio space, and nobody played with those. We couldn't find the guest book pen, and the guest book was all black, and I bought like white Sharpie markers, or white, I think, paint markers, and we lost the paint markers, so nobody could write on them, so nobody wrote in the guest book. So it was just a lot of things that went wrong, but in the end, what really mattered is that Lawrence and I got married. We've been together for 7 years now, and we love each other a lot, and it was just the right place and the right time for us. You know, all I cared about was being with him and being happy. So I just wish I knew all those beforehand so I could really focus on that. Thank you again for watching my video. My wedding, I wouldn't change it any other way. I had so many people who loved me there. There were so many people who loved Lawrence there, and I wouldn't change it for the world. And I hope you guys feel the same way about your wedding. Please remember to subscribe to my channel and also like and comment on whether or not you found these tips helpful or if you agree with these tips. And I'll see you next time. Thanks guys. Bye.